The deck with the constant support, and just like William Afton,
I always come back.
it's Machinedramon. Hey, what's going on, Digimon fans? This is JOF Digimon JermX here, back with another deck profile. Now, this is my favorite deck in Digimon of all time, Machinedramon. This deck is so much fun. It revolves mostly around your boss monster and your level 5s. You're going to be running a wide variety of level 5s because their inheritables are going to be buffing your Machinedramon to the max. It's essentially a whole big toolkit you can use. Along with that, you're going to be having a pretty good early game. You're going to be running some level 3s and 4s that help you out with getting into your Machinedramon as fast as possible. Along with that, you're going to be having some Tamers, and these Tamers are going to be helping you out with your Machinedramon as well. They're going to buff your Machinedramon along with searching for it, along with getting the sources. And finally, we're going to go into this option card, Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. That's what this deck revolves around. This card is amazing, and we're going to go into it in the video. Now, before we start the video, please do like, comment, and subscribe. It means a lot to me. We do put a lot of effort into these videos, and yeah, onto the deck profile. Okay, starting off with the level 2s, we are running 4 copies of Hopmon. Now, Hopmon, he's a very interesting baby Digimon. He has the inheritable. When you have a black tamer in play, give that your Digimon an extra 1k. You are running 4 black tamers in this deck, and they do come up pretty often. Some people run Pagumon. That is completely fine, it's whatever you feel, but I feel like that extra 1k comes in way more handy. Alright, next up, going on to these level 3s, we are running 4 copies of Haguromon. Now, Haguromon is essential for any cyborg machine build. He has that on-play effect. You can trash one Digimon with Machine or Cyborg, any Digimon, doesn't matter the level, and you draw 2. Build up your trash, you want to get your Cyborgs in your trash, and then you get some extra cards in your hand, potentially drawing for that Machinedramon. Don't hesitate to hard drop this card if you need to, don't hesitate to evolve this card if you need to, just play around it, don't completely play around that on-play ability. Next up, we are running 3 copies of Blocker Commandramon. Now, Blocker Commandramon, he has saved my butt a lot when it comes to those final swings. He's just easy, drop on the field, you need to block something real quick, let it die. If not, then just evolve or swing with it. Very, very essential for the deck, I feel. You can run 4 of these. I run 3 personally. I feel like that ratio is good. But yeah, that's what's the beauty of Machinedramon, flexibility. And finally, for the level 3s, we're running 2 copies of 2-drop Commandramon. Now, 2-drop Commandramon, he's pretty nice in this deck. He, again, a 2-drop, so you can just quickly drop him down and then evolve, or quickly drop him down as just an extra body on the field. Say you need to deal with Dexmon, so you can just drop him to save, say, Machinedramon or another Digimon that you have on the field. You can, again, bump it up to 3. I used to bump it up to 3, but then I dropped it for an extra card that we're going to be going into later on. But yeah, very nice. Next up, going into the level 4s, we are running 4 copies of Gardramon. Gardramon, he's a blocker, can't attack though, but he has that when attacking effect, same as Haguromon. You can trash one Digimon card with Machine or Cyborg, draw 2. Again, same as Haguromon. You go into your level 3, your level 3 is usually going to be the one that searches for Machinedramon. You swing with it, get that effect. So you're not only searching for your Machinedramon with 3 cards, but you're also gaining 2 in your hand and trashing some. Then we are running 3 copies of Tankmon. He's just a cheap 1-drop Evo, like very, very nice. He's also a 6k, so he's not a weenie, he can still hit pretty hard. Again, you can just like say the combo drop, the 2-drop Commandramon, and then 1-drop Tankdramon, and then immediately go into your Cyborg off of that. So he's just very cheap. Again, I used to bump it to 4, but then I bumped it down to 3, and I feel like this ratio is still pretty consistent. And finally, we are running 1 Grumblemon. Just a hybrid for the deck. You can run it for 2. I personally don't. I brick a bit too much if I run it for 2. Running it for 1 is perfectly fine. Again, you're going to have a decent amount of black tamers, so you can just digivolve and game with them. Next up, going into our long list of level 5s, we are running 3 copies of Metal Tyranno, 2 copies of Andro, and 1 copy of Machinedramon, just to start it off. Now, Metal Tyranno and Andro have that same when Digivolving effect, reveal top 3, add 1 Digimon level 6 machine, trash the rest. Again, build up the trash along with getting Machinedramon in your hand. Metal Tyranno has the inheritable 1 machine reboot, Andro got 1 machine blocker, and then Machinedramon, he's just a hard drop, delete 2 of your, he can hard drop for on play, delete 2 of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP or less, and then he also is 1 machine security attack plus 1. You are going to be running a decent amount of security attack plus 1s in this deck, because you are going to be rushing down your opponent. Next up, we are running 2 copies of Machinedramon and 2 copies of Metal Greymon. Now Machinedramon, he has, when Digivolving, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon or Tamers, with a play cost of 3 or less. This guy is essential, especially in this meta, because you're going to be seeing Cool Boy a lot, you're going to be seeing some Analog Youths, you're going to be seeing a lot of 3-drop Tamers that have very busted effects, so he's just good to shut down your opponent. It's same thing for his inheritable, so Machinedramon can do it as well. And then Metal Greymon is just a very good card to get rid of your opponent's boss monster with. You can Digivolve, de-Digivolve 1, and then delete 3k or less, so you can just screw over your opponent by getting rid of their boss monster. Along with that, he has the inheritable when Machine, swing it unsuspended. So Machinedramon can essentially attack anything on the board if you have it. And finally, for our level 5s, we have some 1-drops. We're running 1 Cyberdramon, de-Digivolve 1 when you have 2 more Tamers on the field, and then he's just a thick boy. He has 10k DP, and he has when Digivolving you may play 1 Ryu. You do run a Ryu in this deck, so it's very nice if you have that effect go off. Not the end of the world if it doesn't. Then we're running 1 Machinedramon, blocker, just straight blocker, an extra blocker, because you can't put multiple sources of the same Digimon underneath Machinedramon, so he does come in handy. Volcanomon, security attack plus 1 when your opponent has a unsuspended Digimon. Again, an extra security attack. It won't always come up, but when it does, it's very nice. Metal Greymon, when attacking, delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 4k or less, a good Digimon to Digivolve into, along with Piercing when you're a machine. So Machinedramon will be able to swing it unsuspended with the other Metal Greymon and pierce through. And then finally, Metal Greymon, he has security attack plus 2, which is interesting, but he does have the, when attacking, lose 5 memory. When you're in a pinch, you can evolve into it, I don't recommend it though. You mostly want him for that inheritable, plus 3k, lets you swing into big bodies like Alphamon, Massaemon, Imperial Dramon, all the big bodies out there. Going into our level 6s, we are running 4 copies of the big bad himself, Machinedramon. Now Machinedramon, he has that on play. You may place up to 5 black or red cyborgs from your trash or hand underneath him, and you gain a memory for each one. He can't have his DP reduced, so yellow decks don't really do much to him. And then also, when he would be deleted, you could trash 2 of his sources, his level 5 cyborg sources, to keep him alive. So he has quite a bit of protection. The only thing you have to worry about is getting him sent back to your hand, which you do have to deal with a lot in this meta with Chaos Degrade and Megadeth. But other than that, he, like, even if they send it back to your hand, just hard play it again. And then we're running 3 copies of Chaos Dramon. Now Chaos Dramon, you can run 4. I personally think 4 is a bit too bricky. 3 is good enough. He's a good Digimon to just Digivolve into. He's also just a 1-drop Digivolve on Machinedramon, but he doesn't have all of Machinedramon's protections, so I recommend keeping Machinedramon until Machinedramon is really weak, and then going into Chaos, unless you really need to use his 1 Digivolve effect, which is you can place 1 level 5 cyborg or cyborg from your trash or hand underneath him, and then for every cyborg with level 5 under him, delete a 6k or less, so like you can just clear out boards, screws over Commandramon. But like, yeah, you don't want to brick with this. You don't want to run 4 of these because you can't use him with the option card, at least not yet. We are getting a Chaos Dramon soon. That is very, very nice, way better than this one, but for now, he's a very nice card to add to this deck. Next up for the Tamers, we are running 2 copies of Hero. Now Hero has that, he's a memory fixer tamer, and then he also has that your turn effect when you attack with a Digimon that is level 5 or higher. It also has Gamamon, but you're not using that for that effect. You can suspend it to give it plus 2k. Again, swing over hard, big bodies with it. Very handy. You're also going to be running 3 copies of Kazu. Now Kazu feel like he was built for this deck. Start of your main phase, when you have a Cyborg or Machine, gain a memory, so get a little memory buff, and then whenever you swing with a Cyborg or Machine, suspend it to draw 1, trash 1. So build up your hand, build up your trash. It lets you search for Machinedramon pretty fast, since all your guys are going to be Cyborgs and Machines, even your level 3s and 4s. And then finally, you're running 1 copy of Ryu. Now, this card is a flex spot. You don't need it, but I recommend it. You could run 4 Kazus, but I personally have been plussing with Ryu. Ryu is an on play. You reveal the top 4 cards. You may add 1 Digimon with Drummon or Justimon, which you don't really care about. You won't care about that Drummon effect, because you can get Machinedramon, you can get Chaosdramon, you can get Megidramon. You can get a lot of those cards from his effect. And then when your black Digimon swings, suspend a Tamer, give it plus 1k until the end of your opponent's next turn, which that has tripped up my opponent quite a lot, because they expect the 11k Machinedramon and then have to deal with 12k instead, because you aren't going to be running that other Megidramon, or I think it's Gigadramon, that gives it plus 2k during your opponent's turn. You aren't going to be running that card. It is handy, but that's for if you're going for a blocker base. This one's more of an aggro based Machinedramon. And yeah. And finally, we're running the best card in the deck, Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. Now, I've been seeing a lot of controversy about this card. Some people don't run it at all in Machinedramon. I don't know what they are on, because this card is amazing. You don't know how many times your opponent won't suspect this card. Now, this card makes it so that you have to trash one of your Cyborg Machines, and then all of your level 6s with Machine gain Rush for the turn. And then along with that, they gain the on-play effect of when they have evolution sources, Blitz. So only Machinedramon can proc off this for now. Which means you can just do this, hard drop your Machinedramon, get your sources, and immediately swing at whatever you need to on the board, or swing at security. So you can swing at it. You can give it the unsuspended attack Metal Greymon, you can give it the piercing, you can give it the plus 3k, and you can just destroy whatever boss monsters on the field, or you can just give it a bunch of security attacks, swing at security, or you can just create a reboot blocker. This card is essential. I used to run 3, I wasn't seeing it as much because of that, so I ran 4. This card has saved my butt so many times. I don't know why people are trying to reduce it in the deck or trying to get rid of it. It only gets better with the new Chaosdramon that we're getting in EX3. Very, very nice. And then finally, we are running 1 Dark Eye Force. You can run anything, but this card has just been coming in handy quite a lot. You can delete any number of Digimon that equals up to 15 play costs, so you can wipe boards with it, you can delete a lot with it. The only thing it can't delete is Dexmon, which is unfortunate, but this card has came in clutch so many times. And then, yeah, it has the same thing as the security attack, so very, very nice. So yeah, to top it all off, this deck is so much fun. It's my favorite deck in Digimon of all time. The flexibility of this deck is insane. I used to run it as a blocker base, but now I run it as a more aggro base due to that new option card. And again, this deck is just going to constantly get support. The more level 5 Cyborgs they add, the better. Along with the whole new card we're getting in EX3, which you will maybe see in another video. I don't know yet. But yeah. Thank you all for watching. This is a different style of video. I haven't really done something this extensive before, or in depth, but yeah, thank you for watching. Please do like, comment, and subscribe if you got to the end of this, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.